Hey, happy campers, John the Casual RVer here. Hey, today we're going to do part 2 of our Toilet Talk series on the Dometic Master Flush 7600 macerating toilets. I'm going to highlight a few things that I didn't in my last video, and we'll do a review of what I call my cast of characters for the macerating toilet and what they do, how they do it, the products, some of the products that I use, and the care and maintenance, and a couple of products that I don't recommend and why. And there again, like my last video, I'm going to give you a visual, and show you why. Now, just for clarification purposes, I'm going to call this my cast of characters. They're all brand new. They're not used. So that's why I'm not wearing gloves. So as long as people have a clear understanding of that, we're going to be good. So let's get to it. And like I said on my last video, I kind of glossed over and did not highlight some real cool features about this Dometic Master Flush 7600 series. So I want to go a little more in depth on that, and then also the care. So let's get started. Quick review again. I'm in the master bathroom of my 2020 Holiday Rambler Vacationer 35K gas coach. I have 2 macerating toilets, of course, one here in the master bathroom and then one in the half bath. It's a very, very reliable toilet. The Master Flush series has been in the marine industry for many, many years. And it's like I say, it's a very reliable toilet if the proper care and maintenance is given to this toilet. So let's kind of highlight a couple of things again with the components. So this is our foot pedal to flush. This right here is our computer board. Now it goes in the base, and it has a couple contacts, and then this butterfly contactor, depending on what type of flush you have, will hit it, right? So, couple cool things about this. Number one, you can program what they call a dry bowl flush, right? That will only put down 0.21 of a gallon of water in the toilet. Or you can do what they call a normal flush, and that will put down 0.83 of a gallon of water in the toilet. Programming is very, very easy. What you'd want to do is put your foot on the pedal all the way down to the floor for 10 seconds. And that will program what they call a dry bowl flush, and then it's good until you reprogram it. There again, to reprogram it, what you're going to want to do is press your foot on the pedal, flush pedal, all the way to the floor for 10 seconds, and then it will put it in the normal flush mode, which is 0.83 of a gallon. You can also, just like your regular gravity flush toilets or the vacuum flush toilets, you can hold the foot pedal down halfway, and that will add water to the bowl. Now, some people with the toilet, I've heard comments and read comments that when they're holding it down to add water to the bowl, all of a sudden the water shuts off. That's correct, and that's normal. The reason why is depending on what flush level, either the dry bowl flush or the normal flush, once you put the foot pedal and you start flushing it and then release it, it's going to add water automatically, okay, to that bowl. So it knows, so if I'm on a normal flush mode, 0.83 of a gallon, and you're holding that pedal down to add even more water to it, it does not want to overflow the bowl and then, you know, obviously run on the ground. If you're doing a dry flush, it knows that too, and it will stop. It will add a little more water, but then once you press your once you do a flush mode and release the pedal, what's going to happen is all of it's going to wait, right? Well, that waiting is it's adding water to the bowl regardless of what flush, and then it starts spooling up the macerator motor. Okay, so there again, we've gone over these two components. This component here is our water valve. It is 12 volt activated, and it gets its marching orders or signals from this computer control board. All right, so this is a very, very important part. This is actually our macerator pump right here. This is the connection system, and actually it kind of goes like that. Now, right here, the porcelain tub. This right here, the porcelain bowl, excuse me, not a tub, sits directly over. Get this off. So the porcelain bowl sits directly on it. So when you flush, the product will go down here, right? And then immediately hits these impeller blades. They're an aluminum impeller blade. There again, this macerator toilet, once you go all the way to the floor and start the process, the flushing process, once the water is added, the pump will immediately start spinning at an extreme high rate of speed. So the toilet paper and the waste, it actually liquefies this. So it liquefies it, and there again, I don't know if you can really see that. That's a really, really small hole. It's a really, really small hole for the solid waste and toilet paper to go down. But like I said, it's spinning at such high rate of speed, it liquefies the waste before it shoots it out. So what does it shoot it out of? This small tube, right? So there again, the orientation, it isn't really 100% correct, but you get the idea, right? So it macerates it, shoots. Now at this point, your waste is so fine, right? It's almost mixed up with the water. It's almost a liquid. Goes through here, hither, and out here, and then wherever the black tank is located. There again, the macerator toilet does not use gravity, so this actually, it is shooting it and pumping at such a high rate of speed, this can even send the waste, the liquefied waste, a good 30 feet and uphill if it, up an angle if it had to, no problem. But it doesn't, obviously. RV holding tanks, black tanks, are subfloor, right? They're under the floor. So, and there again, these toilets, like I said on my last video, can be mounted anywhere. It does not matter because it does not use gravity to send the waste to the tank. It uses, basically it's a pump. It's a high pressure macerating pump that shoots it to the black tank. With the Macerator toilets, there is no hole on your base, on your floor base, because it doesn't need to. These tubes are routed, and then they can be routed anywhere, and then be connected to the black tank. So this toilet can be moved around. It's very easy. It also there again, you can remove it with just 2 lag screws, pull it out and service it. You can even service it even bolted right here because there's 2 clamshells, 2 fasteners that are removed, and you can get to a lot of these components just from the removing the clamshells in back. Now, there again, a couple of things that I went over in my last video, and I'm going to highlight again on this video. What you don't want to put down this toilet is the flushable wipes, sanitary wipes. They don't disintegrate or they don't tear very easy. So imagine it, you dump it, this thing, the sanitary wipe or supposedly flushable wipes hits this, it's not going to disintegrate or tear very easy. It can easily get caught in the impeller pump. It can bend the impeller blades. It can jam up, or it's going to get caught there again in this really, really tiny hole. So don't flush these down here, because you're going to cause yourself to have a real bad day and then have to get the toilet serviced or pull this apart and service it yourself. So flushable wipes, sanitary wipes, don't put them down here. Another thing, so these drop-in packets, whether if they're powder or they're a liquid, I personally don't use them, and I'll get into what I use. And there are many other tank treatments, and we'll touch on that here in a second. So if you do use these, fill the bowl up with at least almost a gallon, 0.83 of a gallon, and let it disintegrate and completely break up 100% before you flush that toilet. It needs to be all dissolved before you flush it. And the reason being, there again, it's not a plastic, but it's a dissolvable packet, right? And this material that holds in either the gel or the powder, it dissolves pretty quick. But if you just drop it in and flush the toilet immediately before this dissolves 100%, it can do damage to the impeller. It could even, there again, get stuck. The product could get stuck in this, in the exit hole, right? So there again, if you are going to use these packets, make sure they're 100% dissolved before you flush that toilet. I use Happy Campers. I've used it for many, many years. It's a powder form. What I will do is fill the bowl up, with 0.83 of a gallon, sprinkle it in there. It instantly dissolves, and then you can flush the toilet down. There are other liquid tank treatments out there, good ones. There again, you pour that in, whatever size holding tank you have, and immediately flush it. It's not going to do any harm or damage to the macerator pump itself, or you know, or gets clogged or stuck. So I hope that kind of clarifies that right there. So I want to kind of go over a little maintenance tips that I do. When we're done for that, you know, that camp outing, and I'm going to put it into storage, what I'm going to do is fill the bowl up with water and use the liquid Dawn dishwashing soap, about an ounce. I'll put it in there, kind of swirl the water around, and leave it in there for 10, 15, 20 minutes. What that does, the detergent, and it's a mild detergent, it just cleans the impeller and all that. And then after that waiting period of time, then I'll flush it. And by flushing it, just kind of cleans out the lines and all that. And then what I'll do for storage is, once that cleaner is out of the system, I will put RV antifreeze in there and actually flush it a couple of times. And there again, I don't have any water in my tanks. I don't have the water pump on or city water hooked up, so no fresh water is going in here, and it can flush. And then I'll fill it up again with some RV antifreeze and flush it again and just get everything out. And the reason why I do that is if in case, cold weather or whatever, there's no fresh water, sitting in here, and it just makes it better for the system. So, winterizing on this, I want to highlight again, is you would go through your normal winterizing process. Make sure the RV antifreeze is completely ran through all your tubing and through the toilet, right? Like you would do any normal winterization if you're winterizing with antifreeze and putting it through your tubing, right? Your plumbing. And then I'll flush it a couple of times and get it all out, and you're good. So there's no seals in this toilet if there's no water in it that's going to dry out. Unlike your gravity flush, where you have the ball valve seal there, right? And that needs to be lubricated all the time, because if it dries out, then that seal is going to leak, and then the bowl water will go out into the tank, and that also goes along with the vacuum flush toilets. There again, like I said in the last video, vacuum flush toilets, it's a good system as long as the proper care and maintenance is performed on those. But they're a complicated system. If all the seals in the chain of that system is not good, you're going to have a malfunctioning toilet. And keeping water in that ball valve seal up on top of that toilet is important. But there again, for the Macerator toilets, water in the bowl is not necessary. And for us when we're traveling and moving and going down, there's no water in the bowl to splash around or to come out or anything like that. So that's a positive. So with that, I hope I kind of covered everything and went over everything that I didn't on the last, on my part 1 Toilet Talk series. I hope this was informative, that you've learned some things about the Dometic Master Flush 7600 macerating toilet. Like always, if you're not a subscriber, please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button if you liked it. If you didn't like it, hit do not like, and give me a comment. Send me a comment. you know, and even send me a comment if I wasn't clear on something and you want a little more information on these particular toilets. I'd be happy to do that. So thanks again, as always. Safe travels, happy camping, and enjoy the journey, not only your destination. And we will see you later.